What's up, my wizards? It's Dev from the SBMTG, and this right here, this video that you're watching, is going to be a Dragons of Tarkir pre-release primer. I'm going to make it quick, probably just about, 8-10 minutes, something like that, and go over quickly what I think, what we both think, sort of the best colors in the set are. And I would normally say the best and worst colors, but honestly I feel like we're fairly balanced for limited this time around. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. Red is a very good color, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's my number 5 color in this set. I know people are probably yelling at me. But like I said, we're fairly balanced, and red has a lot of very good removal, but not necessarily much more support after that. And a lot of its good support is in the rare slot, so it's not guaranteed you're going to see a lot of it. It's got, Sarkhan's Rage, Tail Slash, Twin Bolt is a fantastic card in red. So a lot of good commons too. Lose Calm, Volcanic Rush, which is sort of like an overrun in this color. So yeah, I do like red a lot, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it needs better win conditions, better creatures, and it does have some big stuff, don't get me wrong, but its greatest strength is in its common removal. And a lot of the colors just, honestly, are more filled out than red is. So even though it's number 5, it is in no way a bad color. Number 4 is a color that very rarely gets number 4, and again, this color is very good, but I just feel like it's slightly maybe outclassed. And hopefully I don't end up being wrong about this one, but I think number 4 in this set is blue this time around. Traditionally a very good color in Limited. And blue does have some pretty good bread and butter stuff. Better than average commons and uncommons, but that's usually how blue rolls. Really wonky rares, and this is no different, but very strong commons and uncommons. And the only reason that it's not a better color this time around is that more colors have access to crazy flyers, and more colors have evasion this time around than usual. So blue kind of loses a little bit of its luster, but not all of it, because it still gets incredible cards. Ojutai Interceptor is going to be a very good card, both for attacking and blocking. It kills 4 toughness and lower dragons, and we see a lot of those. Elusive Spellfist is going to be, it's not a prowess card, but as far as prowess cards go, it's one of the best in a limited format that I think we could ever hope for. Just a premium common. Ojutai's Breath is obviously really good. Reducing Stature is sort of one of the better blue removal cards of the set. Void Squall is very good. We yelled a lot about Youthful Scholar and how good that card is. And of course, what is it? Zephyr Scribe. A lot of people have had a lot of good things to say about that. So, we see a lot of premium cards in blue, but just the fact that its usual strategies aren't as relevant this time around because of sort of the design of the set, I think that it will take a little bit of a hit in this one. Number 3, this time around, in my estimation, is white. And white is where we start seeing some really powerful stuff. Nearly every uncommon in white is very good, and almost every common in white is at least playable. White has great removal and just the most incredible combat tricks in the set. So white is pretty well-rounded, and that's why I think we see it at number 3. It has good removal. Like I said, all the stuff, the benchmark stuff, fair creatures, good uncommons, good removal, great combat tricks, and it's still, in my estimation, probably not number 1 because the other 2 colors outshine it in key areas. But white, a very good support color in this set. It goes well with the other colors, as usual. That's sort of part of white's role, but doesn't have more than a couple of truly standout limited cards, but plays limited very well due to mostly its combat tricks, to be honest. If you're looking for some of the sort of standout cards in white, there's obviously Artful Maneuver is incredible. Enduring Victory is a good piece of removal. Dramoka Doomcaster I think is going to be really relevant in this format. And then obviously Pacifism is always good. What is it? Strong Arm, Monk and Dragon Hunter are obviously very good uncommons. Silk Wrap, I think the 2 cards that people are sleeping on are Scale Blessing and, God, what is it called? Echoes of the Kin Tree, I think it is. I think especially that last one, these are both limited bombs and will do you quite a lot of good. Echoes is a fantastic mana sink in limited, and those are always good, especially ones that help you break stalemates. very easily, it turns out. Number 2 this time around is going to be, I'm going to call black number 2, but I really think that number 1 and 2 are somewhat interchangeable this time around. I think they're one is just as good as the other for different reasons. But black, I'm going to make it number 2 just because it has tons of premium removal in this set. Defeat is very good against more than one thing, but definitely against cards that would be Megamorphs, Manifest, and things like that. So yeah, I think Defeat is more or less fantastic. Coat with Venom and Butcher's Glee are both incredible combat tricks that are very relevant, and you probably should play around them, honestly. Flatten is crazy. Flatten is a really good card. It's strictly better than Throttle that we saw in cons, and people played Throttle. Got Bloodchin Rager and Deathwind are both good cards in the uncommon slot. Deathwind is really, really good removal, and Bloodchin Rager can help break up stalemates. Foul Tongue Invocation, Minister of Pain, I think, is better than people give it credit for. And Ambuscade Shaman is probably one of the better uncommons in the entire set for limited play. So you see that a lot of this is good. Another common I wanted to mention is Vulturous Aven. I think this is one of the best commons in black, definitely. It does a lot for you. So I think black just has so many strong cards, especially when we start talking removal, and that is usually the case, but definitely a better removal suit than black had in Cons of Tarkir or Fate Reforged. And some good creatures. You see Vulturous Aven and Ambuscade Shaman are both very good. The thing that's a pseudo Gravedigger is very good. So yeah, I think that in limited play, black is just fantastic. And really on par with the number 1 color in the set. And that number 1 color is, obviously, by now, if you've been counting, green. Green, I think, which is usually not the number 1 limited color. And in a set full of flyers, green would not normally be a good pick for number 1 color. And I hope I'm probably going out on a limb with this one, but green just has, to make up for its lack of flyers, an incredible suit of commons and some very good uncommons too. But just let me list off some of these commons real quick. Epic Confrontation is insane. Glade Watcher is going to help you in the early game with morphs, manifests, and really anything else they play up till the 3rd turn. This can beat almost anything up to the 3rd turn. Pinion Feast is incredible removal, which we don't usually see in green, but yeah, great removal. Servant of the Scale is actually a recommendable 1-drop in this format. Tread Upon is an incredible combat trick. Dragon Scarred Bear, I think, is one of the better formidable commons that we see. Stampeding Elk Herd is very good. A 5 and a 5/5 that gives you a really good advantage once you get the formidable. And Colossodon Yearling, a strict upgrade on Pillarfield Ox, which is already a decent 23rd card, and just really good toughness to power ratio for that mana cost. In the uncommon slot, Lurking Airings, I think, is very relevant for breaking up stalemates. Scaleguard Sentinels, I don't have to tell you, that's good. Press the Advantage is an incredible combat trick. Saltwood Ambushers and the other Saltwood card, these are both obviously very good, especially when you're playing with Megamorphs. And Circle of Elders is probably a more than fine limited card. So green is just chock full of really good stuff in the common and uncommon slot for limited play. And I think that you probably won't go wrong playing with green. It is not necessarily a good support color, but it pairs well with other colors. I think it's a good primary. And so maybe the sort of Dramoka deck, green-white, or green-black even, these are both, I think, good ideas. But don't let that discourage you. Blue is still very good. Red is still very good. Great removal in red. So I think Wizards did a good job of balancing things this time around, so kudos to you, Wizards. And I think this is going to be a really fun pre-release because they've hedged their bets in a lot of ways. We have bomb, extraordinarily good cards higher up, whether they're dragons or not, but higher up in the casting cost. And then we have morphs, manifests, and stuff to play around with, and the sort of the dash deck. A lot of good white and green creatures at the lower CMCs. So yeah, I think that this is a fairly balanced set in both power level, converted mana costs, and all that. So good job, Wizards. I'll say that. These colors are not necessarily all interchangeable, but they are all at least comparable. So pulled that one off pretty well. The last thing I want to say before I go is monuments, these artifacts that both fix your mana and become 4/4 flyers. I feel like these are very, very good, and you'll want to play these in your colors. I suggest playing 2 colors this time around. Some people say 3 colors is fine, and it probably is going to be fine, but I think that 2 colors is just way more realistic, way more focused, and much more easy to pull off than we saw in Cons Limited, which is built obviously for 3 colors. This set I think is much more built for just the 2 colors, and you'll be able to pull it off very easily, and your deck will be very focused. You really don't need more than the 2 colors because every color does what it does very, very well. If I had to say one more thing, it's that these uncommon gold dragons are very good. If you get those, play them. And any of the dragons, all the gold cards in the set are fantastic. And all except for the cycle of uncommon dragons, all the gold cards are rare. And most of them are incredible bombs. So, and we see a lot of that in this set. That's probably the last thing I'll say, is that there are an inordinate number of limited bombs in this set, be it whatever color they happen to be in. So, and some have less than others. Black has fewer limited bombs. Red doesn't have an incredible amount of limited bombs. White and green do. Blue absolutely does, even though blue's got some weird stuff too. So, if I had to suggest something, it would probably be green, white. I don't know if that's what I'm going to play, but green, white, and black are, I think, a slight cut above the other 2 colors. So let us know what you guys think in the comments, if I'm totally wrong or not after the pre-release. You know, let me know how you guys did and what you played. I'm very interested, and so is Tony, to see those things. So yeah, I'm Dev from the SBMTG with the Dragons of Tarkir pre-release primer, and we'll see you guys next time. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah, all those things do us a lot of good, and they do you a lot of good in the long run too, mister or ma'am, you know. So yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you guys next time. I'm Dev from the SBMTGs.